Hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar by the AM Academy. My name is Sven and today I want to talk about the Hyperspeed Upgrade Kit by Raise3D. That's essentially this little box I have here in front of me, and it is relevant for anyone that has or wants to have a Raise3D Pro 3 or Pro 3 Plus, and in the future maybe also for the Pro 2 series. This upgrade kit essentially contains everything you need to go from 100% printing speed to 300%. So massively increase throughput, productivity, and print speed overall with this kit added on to the 3D printer, the Pro 3, that you may already have. So what am I even talking about here? What is this and why is it interesting? Well, this upgrade kit, let's have a look at what's inside. Consists of a letter, I'll come back to this in a minute, 2 spools of filament, and then 3 little boxes. And in these 3 little boxes, the top one is a sensor, we'll get to that, and the other 2 boxes are replacement hot ends. Remember that on the Pro 3, you've got these interchangeable hot ends that you can very easily take out of the printer and then reinsert a different one or the same one once again, so to speak. So we've got these interchangeable hot ends, and that allows us to exchange them for a slightly different one. So I'll open up this box right here. There's one inside, and I'm not sure how well you can see it at this distance, but the Hyperspeed one is red, the other one is black. And there's a couple more differences in the details to improve the overall throughput and melting capacity of this Hyperspeed one. So with the upgrade kit, you get that letter, you get 2 of these Hyperspeed hot ends, and then there's that other small cardboard box that I mentioned. And in this other cardboard box, there's a sensor, and the sensor looks like this. It's essentially a hot end without a nozzle, instead with lots of delicate electronics inside. And what this is, this essentially has an accelerometer inside, and before starting to print with this Hyperspeed kit, what you do is you insert this into the left printhead position and let the printer do an additional calibration. During this calibration period, the printhead rattles and vibrates back and forth, recording its own acceleration vibrations and then being able to cancel those out later via essentially what is built upon the Clipper input shaping project. So taking input shaper from Clipper and improving and building on that concept, that's what led to this Hyperspeed upgrade for the Pro 3 series. And you can already see why it's first available for the Pro 3 series. Well, it's because it's very easy to get this accelerometer into the printhead with the design of these exchangeable printheads. So you need the sensor to calibrate the vibrations of the printer and to measure its own vibrations before you can then utilize that additional information for better and faster printing. Then you need the better hot ends to provide the higher melting capacity and just to achieve the necessary throughput, because imagine if you're printing 300 times the speed, you need 3 times as much material provided, ready, and available at the nozzle exit. And then that goes hand in hand with what I just said, the new filament. This is essentially a filament designed for high-speed printing. Why can't I just use any old PLA filament that I've got lying around? Well, the problem is, the higher this print speed is, the more dangerous any sorts of issues there are with the filament are. So if it is particularly wet, if it is not evenly shaped, if there are any other problems with it, that can already lead to print issues or print failures, such as clogged nozzles, just canceled prints, etc., etc. But there's another thing that is actually important for the strength of your parts. Because the filament has to go through the entire printhead and through the hot end so quickly, it doesn't have a whole lot of time to melt. And you risk what is essentially a cold core, where the filament that is extruded from the nozzle is molten on the outside, but on the inside there's a cold core of filament that is not melted at all. And the problem with this is that that cold core then doesn't bond properly to the previous layers. So your layer adhesion will be absolutely terrible. And to mitigate this problem, that's where this Hyperspeed filament comes in. It's essentially designed specifically so it melts very quickly and melts all the way through. Right now, Raise3D only has a high-speed PLA and a high-speed ABS on offer, but that will change as time goes on. They're already working on the other commonly used plastics as well, such as PETG, PA, ASA, etc., etc. So just give them a little bit more time on that. In the meantime, there are certain other brands that you can try as well. For example, Treed from Italy, they also have a speed filament that can be used with these printers as well. We've already tried and tested this. So what do you do after getting this upgrade kit? Well, the first thing you do is you get a letter inside this envelope. And on this letter, it tells you to go to a certain website. And on the bottom, you have a rub away field with a code underneath, and that's your activation code. So you go to that website and then you enter this code, and that unlocks a download for you where you can get the firmware, and then you upgrade the firmware of the Raise Touch screen and the motion controller board via this USB stick, and then the printer is able to print at these higher speeds. Then you download the newest Idea Maker slicing software and you're good to go. There's already pre-made profiles in that slicing software for you to use as well for the filaments that are currently available. One small disadvantage, I guess, is that this upgrade kit is married to your specific printer via the serial number. So you cannot buy one upgrade kit and split it among multiple printers. Instead, each printer needs its own upgrade kit. So that's the quick and dirty overview of what this upgrade kit is. You get the hot ends, you get the sensor, you get the filament. Those are the three components that are necessary. And then, of course, you get the firmware upgrade as well. That's basically all I have to tell you right now. I'll show some more clips and images of this high-speed printing and the 2-3 parts that I currently have here that I took pictures of. So if you're interested in those, stick around. If you're leaving now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye-bye.